When I was a sexology student in 2012, I had a short foray in selling sex toys. Now, these sex toys, more sensually known as pleasure objects, often overlap with other kinds of aids, because good pelvic floor health is sexy. One of the products I endorsed most in my short time as a pleasure object saleswoman was a set of lunar beads. Lunar beads are two weighted balls encased in silicone that you insert vaginally to enhance Kegel exercises. I loved my lunar beads and even went so far as participating in a daily challenge, because in my mind, more equals better. What eventuated was my once normally functioning pelvic floor became hypertonic. Intuitively, I stopped using the lunar beads before tampon insertion became difficult or penetrative sex became painful. But voiding urine was a new experience. The flow would start and stop, and I soon found myself wriggling my ass on the toilet seat to encourage my pelvic floor to relax so that my bladder could flow. Up until that point, I had no idea you could have a hypertonic pelvic floor. I was under the impression that everyone's pelvic floor needed work. I fell for the trap of tighter equals stronger and stronger equals better. Fast forward to 2 months after delivering my first baby vaginally in 2014, I just couldn't keep the damn lunar beads in. By the time I had my baby, I was a qualified sexologist. Yep, being a sexologist is a real thing. A sexologist is someone who has studied the depths of human sexuality at a tertiary level. And I decided to take these qualifications and focus them solely on female sexuality. So when I was a relatively new sexologist that had just had a baby, I soon realised the error of my ways. I'd endorse a tighter is better philosophy when that's not a philosophy that should be applied to every woman. No, the approach needs to be individualised. In this room, there's a lot of knowledge about the pelvic floor. How it supports the sexual and reproductive organs, how it helps to birth a baby, and even how it contributes to orgasm. Yet the prevailing message in the fitness world is to keep the pelvic floor tight and toned. And that's not a message every woman needs to hear. In my office, helping women to unravel their most personal and private concerns about sex and intimacy, a hypertonic pelvic floor causes untold amounts of distress, both physically and emotionally. From feeling like she's stuck in adolescence because she can't insert tampons, to feeling completely inadequate that she can't consummate her long-term relationship. Hypertonic pelvic floor is not a good thing and should not be what we're aiming for. Rather than being reminded via Instagram to squeeze her pelvic floor muscle as she stops at red traffic lights or as she goes up floors of the elevator, a woman who experiences painful sex needs to hear and learn something very different. She needs the medicine of relaxation, opening, and softening. There are myriad reasons why a woman can experience pain with sex, but today, rather than focus on the physical, I'm going to share with you how I work with her feelings and beliefs. Let me introduce Vanessa, a woman who, due to her hypertonic pelvic floor, hadn't had sexual intercourse with her partner of 10 years. Can you imagine people, family, asking you when you're going to have a baby and you secretly knowing that the barrier is that you haven't actually consummated your relationship yet? Vanessa was someone who, like me and maybe like you, received the quintessential pep talk about sex growing up. Something along the lines of, just get ready because it's probably going to hurt. It's probably going to hurt. It's probably going to hurt. What sounds like well-meaning advice is actually centred around the anticipation of pain. So well before Vanessa even felt penetration, she was expecting the worst. And thus the cycle starts. All too commonly, the cycle starts with words, not actions. It's true that the first time we've experienced penetrative intercourse, it might not be the most comfortable or pleasurable experience. Yet for so many women, the foundation of what to expect is rooted in fear. And this fear puts our bodies on guard. Vanessa's body was on guard. Through our sessions, I shared with her that her vagina and pelvic floor have its own gut instinct. That in fact, when her body has gone into shutdown, it has done this because it's saying no to taking something in. A woman's body says no for a reason. I shared with Vanessa that a woman's body says no when it doesn't trust the surrounds, her partner, or herself. In Vanessa's case, she didn't trust because she hadn't been exposed to adequate sex education and information earlier on in her life. Before coming to see me, Vanessa had been through a stop-start process using dilators under the supervision of a good pelvic floor physio. Yet some vital elements remained unaddressed in this process. Her lingering beliefs and long-held mindsets. Mindsets that said things to her like, pain is all in your head. That pain is never all in a woman's head. It's real. Her experience is real. And Vanessa and other clients have shared with me that there's more to it than that. The pain of believing you are unwoman is worse than the pain that you feel in your body. Feeling unwoman or completely disconnected from your femininity is painful and isolating. And what every woman who is experiencing pain needs is to be heard, with an open heart and without judgment. In the space of sex therapy, she doesn't need more medicalisation or physical interventions. What she needs is to put a voice to her pain and trauma, to share the disappointment, the negative anticipation, and the belief that somehow all of this is reflective of her as a whole. She doesn't need to be told to relax. She's tried that. Her partner's tried that. She's instructed herself to relax again and again and again, and it now has her teetering on the edge. What she needs now is a new vocabulary, one that invokes hope and dissolves shame and blame. In sessions, one of the earliest concepts I introduce is safety. Safety is the primary antidote to pain and contraction. Vanessa learnt that when she saw safety, she could source safety internally when all of the external factors were taken care of. We went on to explore affirmations like, it's safe for me to be sexual. It's safe for me to open. It's safe for me to start sex in a way that makes me feel comfortable. It's safe for me to drop the armour. It helped protect me for so long, now I'm ready to move on. It's safe for me to take my time. I encourage Vanessa to drop the ever harmful tendency of comparing her sex life with other couples. It's safe for me to have a sex life that looks and feels different from other couples, and that is okay. Safety requires repetition, and this repetition births a new truth. She is safe because she's safe in herself. Safety is a thread that runs through Vanessa's and all of our sexual journeys. The science shows that when we source safety, we have a better chance of progressing to arousal and orgasm. When we've accessed safety in sessions, when she feels safe, we shift the focus onto downregulation. From the second session onwards, we devote the first 10 minutes to an anchoring in. Call it mindfulness, call it meditation. I use the words anchoring in because it denotes that she can ground down in herself, that she's safe because she has a home in herself. And above all, that she has the power to move her nervous system from the anxiety of upregulation to embracing the gentleness of downregulation. I invite you all now to have a taste tester of anchoring in. If you can, start by placing your feet on the floor, getting comfortable in your chair, and shutting down your eyes. Place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your womb or uterus space. Take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds and out through your mouth. And in and out. As you breathe in, as you inhale, gently relax your groin. Gently soften your pelvic floor. Gently let your knees splay open. Let your belly soften. No core on. Use your inhalation to visualize, to oxygenate, to nourish all of your beautiful organs that exist in your pelvis. Send down warmth, send down acknowledgement, send down comfort. And as you exhale, use that to release anything that feels blocked, stuck, stagnant. Anything that you feel like your beautiful pelvic organs no longer need. And finally, just take one more breath in to nourish and oxygenate, and one breath out to release. And when you're ready, bring your awareness into the room by opening your eyes. Through anchoring in, Vanessa learned that she could come into a space of relaxation without using the historically triggering word relax, or even worse, just relax. This had dual benefits for her. Firstly, talking about sex isn't the most comfortable thing, but starting from that place of downregulation, Vanessa learnt that it didn't have to be so anxiety-provoking. Secondly, Vanessa was able to carry the skills of anchoring in into sex itself. It's safe for me to move into downregulation. This wading into the waters underpins my whole philosophy and approach. If we were to lay out the pieces of sex therapy after safety and downregulation, it would look a little something like this. Talk. to deconstruct long-held beliefs that are often silent and subconscious, and to develop a new vocabulary. Possibility. To play with the possibility of penetration using fingers, dilators, and if relevant, penile penetration. Comfort. That all attempts at penetration need to have comfort as the goal. And finally, pleasure. That this is more likely with repeated instances of comfortable penetration. After the birth of my second baby in 2014, I didn't think to go see a pelvic floor physio. Even with my awareness, it was my PT who suggested I see my now physio. Just one mention, and a new path of health was laid out before me. Because all clients, no matter what their knowledge or background, need reminding. It's been wonderful to see the increased awareness of the pelvic floor in the fitness world in recent years. No doubt, questions about bladder control and other indicators of incontinence are included in your pre-screening questionnaire. Now it's time to take it one step further. How do we ask our clients if they experience pain with sex? The simplest way to start this new conversation is by inquiring about her menstrual cycle and her most recent pap smear. Usually, women with a hypertonic pelvic floor never use tampons and avoid pap smears. They've often done so for years. Just this one mention, and you're empowered to either ask or refer your client to a pelvic floor physio and to then modify their exercise program to avoid further aggravating this very distressing concern. Modifying for an overactive pelvic floor is equally important to modifying for a weak pelvic floor. And no matter what your profession, can I ask that you keep us sex therapists and sexologists in mind, and to let your clients know how we're here, ready and willing to guide them along the journey from pain and discomfort to possibility, from pain and discomfort to possibility and pleasure. Planting these seeds is a natural introduction to our work. Painful sex is complex and taboo. A multidisciplinary approach, personal trainer, physiotherapists, and sexologists can do wonders for a client like Vanessa, who I'm happy to report is now enjoying this next sexual chapter of her life and is instilled with the hope of conceiving soon.